Welcome to the Business of Style podcast with me, your host, Louisa Gabriel. I'm a personal stylist and image strategist who grew a successful six-figure business, and now I'm educating and empowering other personal stylists and image professionals just like you to do the same. So please keep listening to hear the lessons I've learned and the strategies I've used along the way that are guaranteed to take your personal styling career from side hustle to six figures too. Welcome to season 7 of the Business of Style podcast. Yes, I am back with a brand new episode. Summer's over. It's time to get back to work. It's time to refocus on growing a successful personal styling business. I hope you've had a wonderful summer. I hope you have been able to take some time to relax, rejuvenate, recharge those batteries, because now it's back to hard work. It's back to growing our businesses. And we're going to start today with a brand new episode, which is for all you overthinkers out there. If you're an overthinker, this episode is definitely for you. So I had a meeting a few weeks ago with my accountant and business advisor, Sean. The purpose of this meeting was to discuss the next steps for the Style Academy International. We have grown at such a rapid pace. It's unbelievable how much we've grown in such a short space of time. So now we're at that point where we have to create a new plan, a new business plan, and come up with new strategies as we go forward. I went prepared to this meeting, as I always do. I am an over planner. I am an overthinker. That is for sure. I was armed with my notes. I had lists. I had 1,000,001 ideas of what the next step should be, how we can continue this growth, the path that we needed to be on. Some of these ideas were very basic, very simple, but then others were definitely more in line with a company that wants kind of global domination. You think the level of like Amazon for sure. Maybe a little bit of overkill on my part with some of my ideas for sure. So the first part of this meeting, I'm sharing all these wonderful ideas that I have, what I think we need to do. My accountant, business advisor, Sean, he's staring at me intently. And I thought he was looking in admiration, thinking, gosh, this is a brilliant plan that she's come up with. And then I found out that his look was actually not of admiration. It was more of disbelief. And when he finally spoke, his words to me were, I think you're making this more complicated than it really needs to be. And when he said that, I laughed. And I nodded because I am that person. Completely hold my hands up. I admit it. I am a chronic overthinker. I have this amazing ability to overthink absolutely everything and make even the smallest, simplest thing extremely more complicated. Anyone that knows me will tell you that this is true. And it's something that I have just done all my life. And it's definitely something that I did when I was first starting my image consulting business and when I first started the Style Academy International. Now, fortunately for me, I now have Sean, my wonderful business advisor, to be able to bring me back down to earth a little bit and really help me to navigate through some of my more crazy ideas and create a more solid and realistic plan that is going to help me achieve my goals in a less overwhelming and more simplistic way. But when I first started my business, I didn't have that voice of reason like many of you don't. And it led me to jump straight into my business with this really overcomplicated plan. And I made a lot of mistakes, some of which I have shared with you on previous episodes. I wasted a lot of time and I wasted a lot of unnecessary money. There were so many things in both my businesses that I started that now no longer exist exist. I threw everything. When I started the Style Academy International, I threw everything into the programs. I was offering everything in the kitchen sink, as people like to say. And I was making everything just way too complicated. And it didn't really help me. It didn't help my business either. Now, I hope that if you are an overthinker, that you do have somebody in your life that acts as that voice of reason for you and can help you process things. They might not be a business advisor, an accountant, might not be somebody who's business minded, but just somebody who can help kind of bring you like back down to earth a little bit so that you can get yourself on the right path. But if you don't, I am going to volunteer today to be that voice of reason for you and to help you avoid some very costly mistakes and avoid some of the mistakes that I made when you are starting and growing your personal styling business. So, why do we overthink? Why do we make things more complicated? Well, there could be so many reasons why. I think for some of us, it's just really part of who we are, part of our personality, part of our brain chemistry, just the way that our brains work, the way maybe our brains have been programmed by our experiences. But I think a lot of the time it can often be because of overwhelm and information overload. And we do very much live now in a world where we are overloaded with so much information. We just have this unlimited supply of information at our fingertips, all thanks to the internet and social media. So we can access all this information, but this information can contradict each other. You can be told, do this, do that. Someone tells you, no, don't do this, do that instead. And just having so much information leads us to feel very overwhelmed and can be very confusing, especially if we're not very business minded and we don't have experience in business. We turn to other people, we turn to the information that we can find, and we just hope that that is the way to go. Sometimes it can be hard to decipher what we really should be doing. One site tells us to do one thing, then the other site tells us there's a better option. We have too many options sometimes, and we think having too many options is a good thing, but I think sometimes that can actually hinder us, especially when it comes to growing a business, when you have a very limited experience in doing so. It just makes it harder to figure out which is going to be the best thing to do. Look at all the social media platforms that we have right now. We started at one or two, what was the MySpace, and then, I don't know, Facebook came along. And it seems like every week there is some new kind of platform that people are talking about. So figuring out which is going to be the best one for your business, how do you do that? Are you going to miss out on clients if you happen to pick the wrong platform to be on? What we actually end up doing when we have all these different options and different choices is we usually just set up accounts in them all, right? And I'm sure some of you are nodding your heads right now and agreeing because you've done exactly that. I did it when I started my business, and I even sometimes still do it now. Think, oh, there's a new, started an account when Threads came along. I think I posted once in Threads. It's not actually something that is actively helping my business, but we do this just in case. Well, maybe I should. Maybe I should just be active on them all to make sure I cast that wide net to try and get clients and get my business noticed. And what we really end up doing is we spend more time than is actually necessary on all these social media sites, and we spend less time doing other important business tasks and even working with clients. So while researching things is definitely a good thing, I believe in research. I believe in informing yourself, getting as much information as possible. We also don't want to do it to the point where it leaves us feeling overwhelmed. And we don't want to take the business approach of let's try it all. Let's give everything a try, because that doesn't work in business. I tried it. Didn't help my business. Ask any business owner out there that has done the same. They will tell you the same. It didn't help their business. And for me, it got me so overwhelmed that I actually almost felt like throwing in the towel before I'd even really gave my business a chance. It wasn't until I started to actually back my business, really kind of strip it back to the bare bones, to the basics, and stop trying to do everything. That's when my business started to grow. And when I say back to the basics, I mean right back to the basics. I put all my long-term goals aside and I created a simplified business plan. It was a one-page business plan. It wasn't this 10, 15-page document. You don't need a big business plan unless you are going to be looking for financing for your business or investors. That's when you need it. But to start your business, you don't need one. Create a simple business plan. I actually have a one-page template. If you want to drop me an email, I would be more than happy to share that simple business plan template with you. And I just having this simplified plan, what I did was I focused on one target audience. I focused on creating one signature program or bundle, and I focused on one social media platform and one main marketing strategy. Very, very basic, very, very simple, but that's how I actually got my business to grow. Both of them, 2 businesses. That's the strategy I took. So if you're starting your business or you're at that point where it's not growing and you really need it to grow, what I want you to do is I want you to focus on the word simplicity. I want you to put those long-term plans and goals to one side for now. Okay? It doesn't mean that you're not going to do them and that they are not important. But think about it. If you haven't got your website up and running, then really doesn't matter if you have long-term plans. You're thinking, should I add makeup services to my business? Should I do a concierge service? All these things do not matter. These long-term goals do not matter because you haven't even got your business started yet. So we want to get you actually at that point where your business is started so that you can start making money, seeing clients, and get to the point where you can start thinking about adding in those long-term plans that you have. So I want you to stay in the now. Okay, it's very important. Stay in the now. Write down any kind of inspiration, ideas that come to mind, things that you think you might want to do in the future. Write them down. Keep a little notebook with you or use the notepad on your phone. It's a good way to keep ideas in place so that you have them and you can refer to them later when you're making the money and your business has become a success and you are ready to be able to put those long-term plans into action. But for now, focus on the basics. Focus on who your target clients are. Talked about this in so many episodes. It always comes up, doesn't it? You all know this. There are previous episodes that will help you try and figure out who your target clients are and how to get to know them. So if you haven't listened to those, go back and listen. But you're going to want to know who your target clients are. Narrow it down so that it's going to be easier to find them and to connect with them. Be specific and stop thinking that having this smaller demographic means that your business won't grow. Trust me, it will. It will grow, and it will grow faster and probably bigger when you do get specific and really focus in on a niche and your target clients. Then I want you to focus on creating one signature program or a service bundle. So a bundle of services that you're going to offer to this one demographic of target clients that you have identified. If you don't know how to create a signature program, guess what? There's an episode about that. Go back, take a listen to it. It is going to help you. Create a program or a bundle that offers a specific result that your target clients are looking for. Keep it very simple. You don't have to throw so much into a service bundle or a signature program. Keep it very simple. As long as each component of that program helps you help your clients achieve the results they are looking for, that is the most important thing. Then I want you to identify the best way to connect with your target clients. And I want you to spend time there. That is the best use of your time. So choose the best marketing strategy that is going to help you reach them. Is it Facebook group? Is it something that is more community-based opportunity for you? Are you working with business people? Is it networking events that make sense for you to spend your time there? Is it a podcast or is it a blog that is going to help you connect with them? Knowing your target clients is going to help you identify that. So that always has to be step one. And then the last thing I want you to do is I want you to choose one social media platform. I'll give you maybe two, but no more than two to get started. You don't need to be on every single platform. I want you to focus on creating high quality content for one or two platforms rather than choosing that quantity over quality. Spend the time on the platform that your target clients are spending their time on. That is how you're going to be able to connect with them. So if you already have accounts set up in X, Twitter, whatever it's called nowadays, on Telegram, Instagram, Facebook, there's just so many. I can't even list them all right now. If you already have those accounts set up, by all means keep them, but you don't have to be active on them. I want you to just really focus on providing that quality content on one or maybe two social media platforms, okay? Creating the simplified plan for your business is what is going to help you actually get it started and get it off the ground if you haven't taken that step already. Also, if you have already taken that step, it's gonna help you really pare things back and refocus. It's gonna help you feel less overwhelmed and give you the time that you need to focus on the important things like creating a quality website and quality content and actually have the time to work with clients. Focus on the simplified plan. It's going to save you time and it's definitely going to save you a lot of money in the long run. And it's going to save you sanity. It really, really is. So what I want you to do is I want you to grab a Post-it note and write the word simplicity on it and just stick it to your laptop or your computer and just keep it there as a reminder for every time you log onto your computer to do some work on your business. Think simple. Simplicity really is the key. And if you are an overthinker like me, you definitely need that reminder. It doesn't have to be complicated to be good. Business doesn't have to be that complicated. Simplicity is definitely one of the keys to your success. So that's it. That's the first episode of season 7 of the Business of Style podcast. As I mentioned before, if you would like a copy of the one-page simplified business plan template that I have, shoot me an email at louisa@styleacademyintl.com. I would be more than happy to send that across to you. So that's it. Thank you for listening once again, and I will catch you on the next episode. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Business of Style podcast, then don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll be notified when a new episode is available. And of course, if you're looking for additional training and resources to help you in your career as a personal stylist, then be sure to visit my website, styleacademyintl.com.